Welcome back, Wednesday edition Debate Amongst Friends. I'm your co-host, Doc Leesner,
Wow, we
and
really started with music
always
already. We're already starting so
by my
well.
side, the host of the show, the Professor John Gotti. Johnny, we had some game two action last night. A lot of predictables. Another guarantee. Cue the Tommy boy again for Charles Barkley.
It was even worse though because they did this whole rave thing and he hit a button and it did this whole rave thing after he
Oh,
said it. So now
uh,
it's becoming bigger.
it's like the curse of Chuck.
Now it's the curse of Chuck, exactly.
The COC, the curse of Chuck. Man, that's not good. It's it's so uncool, so unnecessary, and
It's for
it's
views, it's for memes, it's for all
it's for
that
the
stuff.
clicks, yeah.
Yes.
And we won't cover this, but I feel like on the other side, when we do finally get to the NFL, the whole Julio Jones Shannon situation is kind of in that same realm there. Media just doing everything for the clicks.
He legitimately did call Julio though.
Well, apparently Julio didn't know he was on the
Of
show.
course he didn't know. Well, he probably
So,
knew afterwards, but he didn't know at the time.
and that's huge issues for that particular show. So I won't say the name of the show, but that particular show.
I mean, that's just to coin a phrase, undisputed.
Yeah, God, I can't believe you said that. But
Really?
nah, it's all good. But anyway, shout out to Shannon. And I know everybody loves Uncle Shannon. Hopefully we can get him on the show one day. But game twos last night, the NBA playoffs continue with the first series of game twos. We had the Heat versus the Bucks. Completely different game. The Bucks said the buck stops here. It's time to chill this heat because I know it's hot in North Carolina. So it's time to chill this heat. I don't know who the Heat think they are, but come buck with us.
They said, don't buck with us, Doc. 132 to 98. We're starting to finally see some of these blowout games that we were expecting in the first round.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know what happened with the Heat, honestly. Like
I mean,
they gave up 46 points in the first quarter.
well, you know what I'm going to look at. Let's take a look at the stats.
Okay.
And the one that jumps out immediately is that 3-point percentage, 8 for 28. I think at some point as a team, you really, really just have to let it go. But then that second stat, as you continue down, I can't even look at it. Does that say 61 rebounds
Yep.
to 36?
Yep.
Oh my God, it's them.
Giannis has 13 by himself.
Oh my goodness.
Giannis is
So
flirting with a triple double, only playing 30 minutes.
yeah, and and it looks like it was a team effort. I don't see anybody else with double-digit rebounds, but my goodness, 621 offensive rebounds.
Yep.
That, that's so insane. And it assists, but
Well,
clearly this isn't a
again, I mean, one of the things that we used to say is if you own the offensive glass, like you're going to give
well.
yourself the best opportunity to win.
I think if you just own the glass, period.
Well, yeah, but
And
like
then
offensive rebounds is more of, okay, you're really hustling. Like defensive rebounds, yeah, sure, a few of them will come here and there, real Russell Westbrook style of
wow.
rebounds there. But like the offensive glass is like when you really know, like, okay, your team is like on point.
And going back to what we talked about with the Grizzlies versus the Spurs, if you look at the free throw numbers too, like they had 35, the Heat had 35 free throws, only made 24, of course. But if you look at that foul discrepancy, the Bucks had 25 personal fouls, which correlates with the 35 free throws. And you think about it, not saying that this would have made the game any closer, but
No.
11 points. I mean, puts us in a different, atmosphere depending on where you are in the game. But they were just getting spanked from the beginning. So hopefully the Heat, show up or get back home and play a little harder. Maybe
Hmm.
the road trip back home will get them to get that heat back up.
I saw what you did there. I saw what you're about to do too, by the way. I mean, so a lot of people pointed the finger at Jimmy Butler
Of course,
about
which
this
they should,
loss.
as they
Um,
should. I mean,
I mean,
he's the
his
star
plus
player.
minus was like horrible.
He had 10. He only had 10 points. I mean,
Yeah, like it was pretty bad.
yeah, it's just not
Um,
going to cut it.
I mean, honestly, the Bucks just was like, you know what? First game was too close.
I feel
First
like they
game was too
went
close.
away. I feel like they went away from what they did last year. Like, I mean, I'm looking. Tyler Hero only played 18 minutes.
Hmm.
Iguodala 14 minutes. Like, I
Well,
I feel like they
Iguodala
went
mainly
away.
played a lot of garbage time though.
Yeah, but it's like those are the guys that need to be in the upper 20s, and almost into the 30s. But like
Hmm.
I see here that Spoelstra's using pretty much. Well, yesterday he used pretty much the whole team because of I
Well,
guess, the
everyone except for
circumstance.
Haslam.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna go there. But I feel like he's gonna need to bring in, Tyler Hero, who was really, really good last year.
Hmm.
But now I wonder how much they miss Kelly Olynyk.
A lot actually, and I saw what you
It's
did there too. By the
crazy.
way,
Yeah, a little scumbagish there.
little strum backish right there. I mean,
Yeah, but that's enough of that game. Let's move on to the next game here. We got the Trailblazers versus the Nuggets. The Nuggets and Trailblazers, two continuously scrappy teams. Obviously, the Trailblazers led by Dame and CJ, who respectively did their thing. Nolan Powell contributed. Um, I wonder if they miss, the if the Norman Powell trade hurt them. Like, would their previous core have scored more points? Um, that's neither here nor there. But
well,
obviously, the Nuggets took this particular game in Nugget fashion. The Joker had 38 points and 8 rebounds. I mean, they're lucky, I would think, that you know the Nuggets are missing their starting point guard, honestly,
hmm
because it could have been much worse for them. But I wonder how much the Trailblazers miss someone like Gary Trent Jr. Not taking anything
oh,
away.
they miss him tremendously. That's a solid third option score right there.
Yeah, not, I mean, not taking anything away from Norman Powell, but I wonder how much they miss Gary Trent, who was such a really, really good, I would say, not effortless, but he was really, really good, relentless 3-point shooter.
Hmm.
But I also see that one of my favorite underrated players, Robert Covington, played 37 minutes and only scored 3 points, and that's no good either. Um, you know,
Well, and think about it like
it.
this too. So Nurkic was in foul trouble
Mm-hmm.
by the end of by the end of the first half, and he only played what 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. Like
Sure.
that's a key player that they definitely needed.
No, I
You know,
understand that.
trying to make or try to mount a comeback, but they just. I mean, the fact that Denver had a 42-point second quarter. I mean, and
Nah,
Portland got
granted.
32, which is no slouch,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah. It's a big
the
quarter. It's
Trailblazers
a big
isn't
quarter.
necessarily known for their defense.
Right. And I mean, and honestly, I think in game one, you had Carmelo super hot. I mean, he was hitting, I don't even remember what he was hitting, but he was hitting on a high percentage,
Yeah.
and it was just working. But this game, it just seemed like the Nuggets came out and said, "Hey, we're gonna lean on them. We're gonna keep doing what we do."
Yep.
Millsap came up, obviously Joker came up, Gordon played, Michael Porter did his thing, and I think Campazzo, pretty underrated for what he's been able to do in the absence of the starter here. But I, I still don't know why they don't get Bobo in there, but that's neither here nor there. That's just my preference. I would be throwing Bobo out there all the time if he's healthy.
I think. I mean, he's healthy. He played about two. Well, he played about what, 2 minutes, right?
I'm showing.
Yeah, 2 minutes,
He
17
had two
seconds.
minutes, one rebound. Yeah, so he got in there at the end.
Yeah, it was pretty much garbage time. I mean, he's still a project. I think by the time they actually have him come in there, like he's really gonna make an impact, but it's too soon still. Like you just don't want to
Gotcha.
throw him out there just for the sake of throwing him out there. Like, okay, something isn't working.
Let's bring in the big guy.
Let's bring in the righty.
The righty. Oh goodness. Well, let's go on to the next game. Let's not dwell too long on these games
Yeah,
here.
and of
We
course,
got
the Nuggets actually tied up the
the
series.
Nuggets. Yeah. And in the previous one, the Bucks are leading 2-0
Mm-hmm.
heading into Miami. So here we go. Celtics, Nets. Um,
This was the
I know Jason.
this was the type of game that I expected.
Yeah, Jason Tatum. I know did get hurt. I think there was some finger pointing at KD about you know finger pokes of doom and a whole bunch of stuff I heard. Yeah, but I just feel like the Celtics are just. I don't know. I think it's almost time for. I don't want to say rebuild, but it might be time to break up this little band here. I don't
I
think it's
think
working.
I think what everyone's expectations for the Celtics versus where they actually are, that gap has widened.
Yeah, where they are, like they're a good team. I mean, obviously, I know they had to go through the play-in game, but they're a good team. And I know some people are going to say, well, Brown is out, and no, I don't want to hear all that.
Yeah, it's the
This is a
playoffs.
yeah, this is a really really good
There
team.
are no excuses in the playoffs. What did I say last year during the football playoffs, sir? It doesn't matter what happened.
It really
It's all
doesn't.
about who's going to step up.
Yeah,
Hey, you can
uh,
have all the greatest numbers in the world in the regular season. The playoffs is when you
hmm
really make your name.
absolutely. And the Nets, I mean, they don't have to. I feel like they've finally realized, like Durant, Kyrie, James Harden, like they've realized that, hey, I don't have to score 30,
Yep.
40, 50 points. Let's just play a team basketball. Let's play team basketball.
And that's
Let's
what they're
just
doing. I mean, we're talking
yeah, it's
like
like
like look at
let's
these plus minuses just for the starters. Joe
do it.
Harris plus 29, Kevin Durant plus 19, Kyrie Irving plus 19, James Harden plus 31, Blake Griffin plus 18. That's ridiculous.
And I mean, let's check out this look at 52% from the field, 44% from three,
Yep.
95% from the free throw line.
You hear me talk about free
Uh
throws all the time.
they out rebounded, out assisted, out blocked.
Just
They
outplayed.
yeah, they just outplayed them. I mean, but the Celtics, like I said, I know Tatum was out, but I don't think even if Tatum was in, it would have
No,
made a
it wouldn't have.
difference.
No, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. I think this. So this may actually be the sweep for the
It's
first round.
possible. It's possible. And if if I'm the old ball coach of the Celtics, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, the colleges was calling me. They were calling me, and I turned them down, because I wanted to.
Well, I mean, again, it's not reflective of the coaching for the most part. Like, it's a cornucopia of different reasons why it's not working. Of course,
So
injuries and
this,
whatnot, but
this is what I'll say about Brad Stevens though is that he's slowly getting into that. Where can I put him? Brad Stevens is slowly getting into that coaching tenure where you're good, but one day good isn't going to be enough.
exactly.
It's like you're good, but this team is talented, but you're only getting them to a certain point. So I wonder how long he's going to get with this team. How much longer? Hey,
Uh,
some people are okay making the playoffs and making it to maybe the Eastern Conference Finals. Like,
well, they made it to 8 Eastern Conference Finals with him.
yeah,
They made it to a semi. They may get
right.
swept this year. I think he may have 2 more years.
You think 2 more
I
years?
think 2 more years.
I get it. And I mean, he's been there since 2013.
Mm-hmm.
564 games, 318 to 246. I mean, he's over 50%, for wins, 73 and 37 in the playoffs.
Yeah,
But like I said, it's not horrible. He's been a great coach, but again, how long do you let that tenure ride? But we're gonna
exactly.
have to keep an eye on that because that's something that I would be interested to see. Because you start getting to that Jeff Fisher tenure.
No, that's not. It's not concerned with Jeff Fisher.
Okay,
Not even by the slightest.
okay,
Let's
all right.
get to the next game.
Yes, okay. By the way, Brooklyn's up 2-0. We know.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
that's that's why I said this is
yeah,
gonna be sweet.
yeah. So the Lakers versus the Phoenix Suns. A close game up until pretty much close to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I know again more controversy. It seems like Anthony Davis dug in his old tapes of WWE wrestling, found a clip of gold dust, and tried to shatter Jay Crowder's
I saw what
dreams.
you did there. That was good. Okay, that was
uh,
great. Of
you
course, of
know,
course, commentary was talking about the Draymond Green rule.
oh, the kick.
Yep.
Well, that leg kick. So a lot of these leg kicks are. It's kind of like the thigh slap of wrestling. It's like they're trying to slowly outlaw it. You could tell with these fouls. I mean, obviously Anthony Davis got a flagrant for this, and I think one of the other games, I want to say it was the Grizzlies game. The shooter was shooting, and he just kicked that leg out, and they called a foul, and the commentators were like, "Oh my God, he should challenge! Oh my God, why don't you challenge that?"
I don't think they said it like that, but
No, they didn't. It was pretty dramatic though, and it's like it seems like the leg kick is gonna be a popular discussion when I guess the league has their meetings because I heard it constantly, and here we are again. The leg kick heard around the world last night. It was Shattered Dreams by Anthony Davis.
wow.
Um, Brow's gone wild.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna have to put an explicit on this episode.
But yes, the Lakers. The Lakers won 109, 102. Schroeder was all over the place. I mean,
Yeah.
really, really doing a really good job penetrating and really getting to the basket on the Suns. Obviously, LeBron 23. I don't know. LeBron, he hasn't been. Maybe he's still recovering. I'm gonna give him that. He's still recovering because I'm just not seeing the king that the LeBron maniacs are so used to.
I'm not gonna
Um,
go into that. I'm gonna say Dennis Schroeder was the reason why the Lakers won.
of course, I mean, granted, they did win the rebounding battle, assists, blocks, steals,
They should
turnovers,
win the
points in
rebound.
the
Are you
paint.
kidding me?
I mean, they shot a pretty good 87% from free throws. Everything that we talked about, shooting on both sides outside of free throws were horrendous. That 30% from three, again, eventually you got to abandon ship and just go and attack the basket. 46% for the Suns, 45 for the Lakers. I mean,
Yep.
it was a tough game. I'll give the defenses credit, but this is pretty rough. Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton both, handle their business. Chris Paul obviously deal with a little bit of injury, which again takes me back to that hamstring that hamstrung the Rockets from making the finals.
That's what you did.
So
That was
this,
clever.
yeah, this could be one of those things that holds the Suns back from making it to the next round.
Well, I feel like this is gonna be another situation of, you know, what what the series is gonna have on the legacy of Chris Paul. Like we know he's one of the best point guards of our generation, like hands down.
Right,
Anyone who try to argue about that fact doesn't know basketball. Period.
right.
But in the playoffs, it is like that locomotive. It just staggers for some reason. And we kind of want to see because he brought the Sun from what 10th place, no ninth place last year before the playoffs to now, what the number 2 seed.
Hmm.
I mean, he's able to turn a team around, but for some reason in the playoffs, like it just hasn't reflected that same kind of success. But I want to see what happens game 3. They're gonna go to Staples, and we want to see if they'd be able to steal a game. Let's see if they could take the series lead. I'm hoping to start seeing some Frank Kaminsky, honestly.
I do want to see more Frank the Tank, but we'll see. I mean, we'll have to see.
But
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's what.
otherwise, like this was a predictable game, and the fact that all these media people talking about the Lakers are going to go down 0-2 and LeBron's going to lose in the first round, like you kind of jinxed them.
This is true.
It's not like we say this to try to troll. We say this because this is a recurring pattern.
No, and honestly, they have some they're the really quality players
Yeah,
outside of Crowder, Bridges. I mean, like you said, Frank, uh, Dario Saric was a really good player. Torrey Craig is a really good defender. Um, Cameron Johnson can really shoot the basketball. I
not to be
mean,
confused with Cameron Grimes.
not to be confused with To the Moon, Cameron Grimes. But yeah, these are some really good players. So hopefully, hopefully they can turn it around. Get, like you said, steal one in LA. That's what it's gonna take to get to the next, at least extend the series to get to the next round.
Yes.
And lastly, the game that has the trollers trolling through the forest here. The Dallas Mavericks beat the Clippers last night, 127-121. All I seen was, oh my God, Paul George crossed up 7-3 Kristaps Porzingis, which of course that would happen because Porzingis can't guard me. Okay. And I can't dribble. Okay. So I'm sitting here and obviously Kawhi went off. I mean, he had 30 in the first half.
Yep.
He wound up finishing with 11 more points in the second half. Paul George, 28 and 12. Reggie Jackson showed up. Um, I know we talk about Luca, 39, 7-7, but nobody's talking about the play of Tim Hardaway Jr.,
Nope,
you
no
know.
one
And
is.
I know we talked about that a little bit. I think somebody was saying that he was going to be a $20 million player. And it's interesting because I think I had said that, he's already making like 15 to $18 million. So he's already up there.
Yeah.
Not a franchise player, you know, but he's a really solid player who can
Yeah,
really add to this
he's a
team.
quality number 2, number 3 option for this team. He's a great fit for the squad. I mean, and honestly, the Mavs is like the kryptonite for the Clippers for the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, and the Clippers, they just honestly, I feel like they should win. They should be winning. Like,
And,
I don't
and,
know what
and
it
that's the
is.
problem. Like they should be winning, but they
It's so
ain't.
it's so crazy because I look here and I'm like, I know Luka's dominating you. I know it. You know, Porzingis, 20 and 4. That's not really an impact, in my opinion. Like
but
20 points
but KP's not
or
going to get down into the trenches like that to get rebounds though.
and he need I need him to get at least 8 rebounds. Like, come on, 8 rebounds is all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
But nobody has over 8 rebounds on the team,
Nope.
and somehow the Clippers lost this game. I don't know how. This might be one of the only ones where they had obviously they shot poor from the three, but they led in rebounds. They lost in assists, lost in blocks, lost in steals, lost in turnovers, dominated points in the paint,
Yep.
dominated points in the paint,
Well,
90% free
this is
throws.
this. So this is a game that the naysayers don't want to admit, but this is where the analytics is towards the right side of things instead of the wrong
Right.
side of things
Because look at it. Look at that.
because
Look at
when
that
the
Maverick
threes are
side.
hitting,
Right.
you're gonna win. You're gonna win.
But I mean, how many
And
threes do you take before you stop taking them? Like, how many threes do you miss before you stop taking them? And that's like obviously the Rockets went what 0 for 99 that one game, and
wow,
we
he
kept shooting them.
said it.
Yeah, I said it.
Wow, he
Oh yeah, I
said
said
it.
it. I meant it to.
I mean, in the first
Uh,
half, like the Mavs shot 66%, 67% from three.
so at that point, if you don't shoot, how many threes did they shoot at that point?
15. It made 10.
15. So they made 10 out of 15. So that means they went 3 out of 18
8
in
out
the
of
second
19
half.
in the second half
Oh, okay.
for 42%. But
Uh,
still, very respectable
wait. You
42%.
said 10. You said 10 out of
10 out of
15.
15.
Well, they only went 13 for 30, 33 for 3.
They
So they
went
would have had to only
19 for
make 3.
34.
Oh, this says so. Maybe Google has it wrong. I'm showing
Yeah.
13 for
I
33.
was like, wait, what?
Uh, yeah. Google has them at 39.4% from 3
For the game?
for the game. That's what it has here. I don't know.
No, they
Google.
shot 52.9%.
All right, Google. You got some explaining to do because it's.
I'm like,
I'm
wait,
telling you,
no. That's
it
why I made
says.
the analogy about if you're hitting your threes, you're gonna win.
All right, Google. You got to get it together because it's literally. I'm looking at it right here. It says 13 for 33. All right,
Yeah, they
Google.
made 1 over half of their threes for the night.
1 over. Okay. Hey, listen. So what did they finish the percentage wise?
52% for the game. Second half they
Oh,
shot
then.
42%. In the first half they shot 67%.
Oh, then I don't know because Google messed me up now. So I don't even know what to think anymore. I can't believe anything that I just read. I don't know who won the rebounding. I know nothing now.
Yeah.
So Google, you have failed me for the first
You
time.
are correct as far as the rebounding.
Okay. I was like, come on, Google. So I will never use Google again. And I've always used Google, like always for stats, because it's like right here. I can just click it and it's a ticket, you know what I'm
And
saying?
folks,
Like
this
it's
is
perfect.
a great reason to plug in basketballreference.com. If you want the
No, definitely.
hardcore analytics, check out basketballreference.com. Follow the social media as well too, because definitely basketballreference.com is a debate amongst friends, unofficial official sponsor, because we use that a lot. Because
Absolutely.
sometimes even Google can be wrong.
Google gets it wrong. That's so crazy. But we're looking forward to tonight's game 2 continuing here. We got the Wizards versus the 76ers, Hawks versus Knicks, and Grizzlies versus Jazz. Looking forward to these games. Hopefully, they provide the same level of excitement that the first games did. I think tonight's going to be a better showing of basketball than yesterday.
Absolutely.
But with that, if you are listening to us, that means you must have found us on your favorite podcast platform. I know we're out there on all of them, but if you can't find it for some crazy reason, you can always go to www.debateamongstfriends.com and hear all of our shows. These come out every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. So be sure to tune in tomorrow as we're going to cover the remaining game twos. Your co-host here, Dr. Wednesday Night, the podcast beast. That's the Professor John Gotti. And be sure to tune in tomorrow for more news, more analysis, and the reads.